Hello everyone, welcome to this mini segment. My name is Harish Gaur. I am Senior Director of Product Management for Oracle IoT Cloud Service. And today I have the pleasure of having Bob Monahan in my company. Bob, please introduce yourself.
Thanks, Harish. Bob Monahan, Vice President of Product Management for the Oracle JDEdwards ERP product line.
Great. In the mini segment today, we are going to focus on IoT, JDEdwards, and IoT Cloud Service. Now, JDEdwards, it's been used by thousands of customers for simplifying their ERP processes around capital asset management, field service, plant floor automation. Tell us a little bit more about how JDEdwards customers get value from IoT.
Thanks, Harish. IoT is a great source of value for ERP customers. If we think about ERP systems have been designed for decades, and JDEdwards has been in the market that long, many times to input data and process transactions. But much of that historically has been done with human intervention. Human beings entering the data, human beings processing transactions such as maybe work orders or sales orders, purchase orders, whatever that may happen to be. Now with IoT, it allows me to connect what's going on in the physical world to my IT systems. No longer do I have to have someone going out for maintenance and recording the status of equipment with pen and paper, coming back and then keying that into my ERP system. No longer do I have to have someone going out and saying, where's a piece of equipment located? What's the GPS location? Coming back or calling or sending an email, keying that in. That latency of having people go out and manually record, plus the potential for error of transactions being recorded incorrectly, that can now be eliminated with IoT. It allows me to take my, what some people may refer to as back office applications, and move those right to the point of process. So now I have direct input of data and transactions happening directly within my ERP system. So to some extent, IoT is now my high performance fuel injection data system into my ERP applications. That provides tremendous business value for our customers with improved data quality and improved timeliness of data, allowing business users to make more informed business decisions.
That's interesting. IoT as the high performance fuel injection engine. So tell us a little bit more. How is Oracle simplifying the adoption of IoT for JDEdwards customers?
So JDEdwards customers can start with a pilot. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is identify a business case, a business challenge, where you believe IoT may be able to provide a solution to that business challenge. Within JDEdwards itself, we have a product called the IoT Orchestrator. That allows a customer to start with a couple of devices, work with a business partner, map those devices to the IoT Orchestrator. The Orchestrator has a number of components. One is a whitelist, so I can identify the sensors or devices from which I expect to feed REST-based services into JDEdwards. The second is a cross-reference capability. So I have a device or a sensor, it may have a very long alphanumeric serial number. Well, I don't use that same number in my JDEdwards business applications. I have assets, equipment, and so forth, which has a business name attached. I need to cross-reference that asset to that sensor or device. The third capability in the orchestrator is business rules. So as I'm receiving data in from the sensors, what do I do with it? Do I update an application? And if so, what application? Do I initiate a transaction, such as a purchase order? If so, what's the transaction and what's the information? So business rules to monitor the information coming in and then act on that, update my ERP system. So that's the core capability. That'll allow customers to start with a pilot, build that out, prove an ROI, and then from there they can expand and use IoT cloud services as the pilot grows and as they grow towards production.
So you talked about IoT Cloud Service and you talked about IoT Orchestrator. So let's talk about how these two technologies complement each other and how can customers use these technologies to scale their IoT solutions. So let's take a look at the slide here.
So if we start with thinking about just the number of sensors, right, that we have, great to start a pilot with JDEdwards where maybe I have 10 or 20 sensors. That's very manageable, right, using that in a whitelist. But if you think if I'm going to grow from 20 to 30, hundreds, maybe even someday thousands of sensors, I want to have more secure capability and I want to have more device management. So how do I input all those protocols, all those connections into JDEdwards, and then how do I manage that security?
Yeah.
So Harish, you're very familiar with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell some of our JDEdwards customers about the additional capability of the device management as well as the security.
You're right, Bob. As customers, as JDEdwards customers scale their IoT solutions from tens of devices to hundreds or thousands of devices, IoT Cloud Service is the platform which can work in conjunction with IoT Orchestrator to provide that scalable and secure IoT application environment. And typically what we have seen is when customers see the device population grow, the amount of data, the speed at which the data comes, and the velocity of data is very high. And typically what you need is a layer in the middle to process that data, analyze that data at real time. And IoT Cloud Service provides a platform for doing filtering, aggregation, pattern matching, and correlation on the data at real time. And of course, the idea here is security also, right? You talked about white listing of the devices. As the application grows at a much broader scale, security becomes of paramount importance. And IoT Cloud Service does provide that capability to manage the identity of devices throughout its life cycle.
Right. Harish, I think you hit on a key point, right? It's the collection of data, the analysis of data, and then integrating with my ERP applications. Maybe we focus for a moment on just the analysis also of the data. JDEdwards, other ERP systems are not designed, architected, as you said, when I have very fast feeds coming in of data to provide that real-time operational analytics. How are my devices performing? What information is it giving me? What applications in the ERP system am I calling? Maybe you could talk about that real-time operational analytics that's provided with IoT
And you're
Cloud
right.
Service.
Typically what happens, Bob, and sorry for speaking over you, typically what happens is as the data starts to come in, the volume and the velocity of the data is not suitable for applications like JDEdwards or eBusiness Suite or Salesforce or SAP for that matter. What IoT Cloud Service can do in conjunction with IoT Orchestrator is to funnel this data to the normal recipients. That's the BI, that's the big data store. So IoT Cloud Service provides out-of-the-box integrations with BI Cloud Service, for example, to do visualizations and analytics on this data. It provides out-of-the-box integration with Big Data Discovery Cloud Service. And that is extremely important because typically this data does not belong in one place. It belongs into the big data store. It belongs into the BI data warehouse.
Right. Two great points you made there, right? One is the big data and managing it because it is, you're right, that is not ERP typically data, and I want that for historical purposes. So now that I have it for historical purposes, I can look at trends, I can look at predictive analytics, capability I would not be able to do strictly within JDEdwards. So IoT Cloud Service provides huge benefit there. And as you said, the IoT Orchestrator in JDEdwards is great as a front-end gateway into JDEdwards, but it doesn't provide integration to all the other types of business applications that you may use. So having IoT Cloud Service can provide feeds not only to the IoT Orchestrator in JDEdwards, but the other applications is just a huge advantage for the
Precisely,
for the product.
and not just business applications, Bob, right? It's also about how do I want to control and manage my devices. Sometimes you use a mobile phone. So IoT Cloud Service can help you sort of funnel this data on a mobile device using Mobile Cloud Service. So now you can use a mobile device for controlling and managing the devices.
Right.
Likewise, if the data needs to be integrated with other ERP applications, other SaaS or on-prem applications, then there is a possibility of using integration cloud service with IoT Cloud Service. So really, at the end of the day, what we are talking about is IoT Orchestrator with IoT Cloud Service can help JDEdwards customers as well as non-JDEdwards customers to build a secure end-to-end IoT application.
I'd agree. One last point, I think, just to mention for our audience is the integration that we've done within IoT Cloud Service to enable that to see the orchestrations that exist within JDEdwards and make that seamless connection very easy for a business analyst to set up in the IoT Cloud Service, calling those orchestrations in JDEdwards.
Thank you, Bob. That's a great point. The integration between IoT Cloud Service and JDEdwards is much more seamless because of that collaboration. So just to wrap it up, what we have been talking about is how IoT Cloud Service and IoT Orchestrator extends applications like JDEdwards to the devices and makes these applications much more intelligent, and that's why preserving the value of that software investment. I would like to thank all of you and especially thank Bob for joining us today in this mini segment. And if you need more information about IoT Cloud Service, please visit cloud.oracle.com/IoT. Thank you, everyone.